This quiz belt is filthy. Puffy just throws it in the bottom of his drawer every week.
Got the gimmicks going.
Doesn't get taken care of anymore. That's all we got, Bob, is gimmicks. You know that. You were with us long enough. Bob detests the quiz. Good to know that doesn't change. Belief or make-believe? Toronto is the best team in the NHL right now. Frankie.
Make believe, James. They are one of the best teams in the NHL, but to say that they are the best team in the NHL, like, how are we just deciding that now when there's the 7th best team when it comes to points in the standings? There's a lot of good things about the Leafs, but they're in a cluster of teams that are very good. They don't stand out above the rest.
O-Dog.
Belief. Promised Mess I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it. It's the same time every year I do this. I'm going to say that the Leafs are the best team. You can't deny that it's got a different feel this year. I mean, their goaltenders, the way they play defense, it looks different, and they're fantastic right
now. Make believe, because it's just a form of protest, my answer. Because it's one of the right now questions. It's always for the quizmaster. It's like, right now, right this second, right this moment.
That's exactly how he talks.
But like right now in this moment, they are.
Like an anxious Larry David.
As if you could get more anxious.
More neurotic than Larry David.
Case, yeah. So, hey, listen, if the Leafs win the Stanley Cup this year, somebody will run the tape. I'll be embarrassed, but I'd rather take my chances going the other way.
By the way, have you ever answered a quiz question that hasn't been a protest answer? Jacob Trouba traded to Anaheim today, but did the Rangers play hardball or dirty pool, effectively threatening they would place their captain on waivers if he didn't waive his no-trade clause?
Hardball. There's some greasy things that happen in the NHL, and they all have one thing in common, and that's losing. So when the team is losing and they're spiraling out of control, some goofy, greasy things happen, and making people go away is one of them. It's no different than when a player gets drafted to a team and he says to them, hey, I don't want to play for you guys. That's greasy too, so this is the team's way of fighting back.
Dirty pool, and I didn't know what this term meant before the quizmaster said it to me today, but it just feels really greasy what's happening. Barclay Goodrow got put on waivers this summer, and San Jose picked him up. He didn't want to go there. It's the same GM who's threatening players and saying, I'm going to circumvent trading you by putting you on waivers if you don't accept this. I just don't like it, and as the players' union, they should be doing something to stop this from happening if it does happen again.
It's hardball. The rules are what they are right now. They didn't circumvent the rules. They just took advantage of what's a loophole in terms of the lack of protection for a limited no trade, and you can use the waivers to your advantage. Reap what you sow. If you're a free agent, you're going to sign with the New York Rangers, just know that your limited no trade isn't worth anything because they're quite likely to put you on waivers.
Here's another one of these fantasy questions that Bob probably doesn't like. Which potential Four Nations face-off super line would be better? Canada's all-GTA line, Sam Bennett, Connor McDavid, Mitch Marner, possible. America's all-Arizona line, Austin Matthews, and the Tkachuk brothers, Bobby.
No, I like this question because I'm going to say the GTA line. Now that I'm not really a 24/7 insider anymore, I'm just a guy that floats in and out, I can be a homer. And there's a couple of guys that played for the York Simcoe Express and the Toronto Marlies, OMHA, GTHL guys, and another guy on that line that local boy, Mitch Marner, Don Mills Flyers, Whippy Wildcat, go with it.
The all-Arizona line, because there's something about having the best goal scorer in the game next to two guys that are going to do everything they possibly can to get the best goal scorer in the game, the puck, not to mention their three big bodies.
Traitor.
Very attractive.
All GTA line. Mitch Marner was a Von King. I was a Von King. I can't stand the two other teams that Bob mentioned, but Von Kings.
I officially apologize to the people of Nova Scotia from the Quizmaster for not mentioning Marchand, Crosby, and McKinnon, another possibility. The Leafs may not lead the league in points, but they lead the league in swagger, according to the Quizmaster. Who has the most swagger of them all? I think this comes from the Stolars and the Shades kind of shot. But Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Stolars, Bob.
Well, next to the Quizmaster, who's got just mounds
Amples.
of oozing swagger, I'm going to say Willie Nylander for all the obvious reasons.
Okay. Austin Matthews, he's the big dog. He has the real classy suits. He's the only guy that can pull it off with the running shoes with the suits. It's Austin Matthews.
Willie Nylander, but it's actually Willie Styles. When your nickname is Willie Styles and you go on vacation and you're in Spain or Portugal or wherever, and you get the prosciutto going with the hairdo, like, how is that? That oozes swagger way more than the Quizmaster ever could on his best day.
A ton of swagger on this panel tonight, but look it. He's only here a couple of times a year. He's the only guy who would probably refuse the belt.
I refuse the belt.
There you go. There you go. He doesn't want it. Hand it to O. O takes it home every
You wanted
night.
that so badly last year.
That's mine.
Hey, how about this? O deserves it because look what we got going to break here. Who's in the crowd tonight at the Leafs game? It's little O-Dog, C-Dog.
There's
Charlie
O'Neill, my
O'Neill.
daughter,
Oh, yeah.
and her teammates from Collingwood.
Which one's Charlie for the people on the
Charlie's on the left.
far
there,
left,
with
right?
Number 19.
Yeah, there's some definite O-Dog in there.
Nice.
Those are her teammates. Awesome.
Charlie and the girls need to see a goal in a second.
The Toronto Maple Leafs may be taking a new approach to salary management, which could directly impact Mitch Marner's contract negotiations. During Kyle Dubas' tenure as general manager, the team didn't hesitate to spend heavily, and this trend began with a 6-year extension signed by Marner in 2019. At the time, Marner's $10.9 million annual cap hit set the market for superstar wingers, surpassing comparable players like Mikko Rantanen of the Colorado Avalanche, who signed a 6-year deal with a $9.25 million annual cap hit. Now, however, times seem to be changing. TSN's Pierre LeBrun recently reported that the Maple Leafs have implemented an internal salary cap, aiming to ensure no player earns more than captain Austin Matthews, who signed a 4-year extension worth $13.25 million per season in August 2023. The team's primary concern revolves around Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, who, according to LeBrun, might push for a percentage of the total salary cap instead of a fixed dollar amount. This could result in Marner's cap hit exceeding Matthews' $13.25 million, conflicting with the Leafs' new financial strategy. Ferris is known for driving negotiations to the limit, often taking his clients to free agency. This raises fears that discussions between Marner and the Leafs could drag on until July 1st, giving Marner and his camp all the leverage in negotiations. Another complicating factor is the rising market. LeBrun noted that Mikko Rantanen believes he could secure $14 million per season as a free agent. This sparks the question, could Marner demand even more? And would Ferris take that gamble, knowing the Leafs might opt to move on and sign another player? Marner has made it clear on multiple occasions that Toronto is where he wants to be. As a local player with deep ties to the city, he's expressed his desire to spend his entire career wearing the blue and white of the Leafs. However, staying with the team may require him to accept less than market value, especially if the front office remains committed to its new salary structure. Such a sacrifice could be vital for the team's collective success and to avoid financial issues that have plagued the recent past. While negotiations are still in the early stages, it's evident that Marner's future with the Leafs is at stake. Maple Leafs fans may need to prepare for the possibility of significant changes, but they can also trust in the player's commitment to the city and the franchise to find a compromise. The Maple Leafs' decision to implement an internal salary cap reflects a broader shift in their team-building philosophy. After years of prioritizing top-end talent with hefty contracts, the organization appears determined to strike a balance between superstar contracts and depth throughout the roster. This strategy aims to avoid the pitfalls of past seasons, where a lack of financial flexibility often left the team vulnerable in critical playoff moments. For Mitch Marner, this shift creates a unique challenge. On one hand, his value to the Leafs is undeniable. A consistent top scorer and elite playmaker, Marner has been instrumental in driving the team's offense. On the other hand, his ability to command a salary that rivals or exceeds Austin Matthews could put the Leafs in a difficult position, especially with a potential need to strengthen other areas of the roster. As the 2023-24 season progresses, the Leafs must weigh the potential consequences of sticking to their cap philosophy. Losing a homegrown talent like Marner would undoubtedly sting for fans and the organization alike. However, allowing one player to dictate financial terms beyond the team's structure could hinder long-term success and force painful sacrifices elsewhere. Adding to the complexity is the looming free agency of William Nylander. If the Leafs are to stick to their internal salary cap, they may also face challenges in retaining Nylander, who could command a significant raise. Balancing contracts for both Marner and Nylander within the new framework could prove to be the ultimate test for Toronto's management team. Another factor at play is the team's ultimate goal, winning the Stanley Cup. While star players like Marner and Matthews are crucial, history has shown that depth and balanced rosters often prevail in the postseason. If the Leafs fail to manage their finances effectively, they risk falling short of building a championship-caliber team, even with elite talent. For Marner, the decision to stay with the Leafs might come down to more than just dollars. His connection to the city, the fans, and his teammates could be deciding factors. If he prioritizes legacy and loyalty over maximizing earnings, there's a strong possibility that he'll work with the team to find a deal that benefits both parties. Negotiations will also test Darren Ferris, known for his hardline tactics in securing lucrative deals for his clients. While pushing for top dollar is expected, Ferris may need to weigh the risks of alienating the Leafs management and fanbase. A prolonged stalemate could damage Marner's relationship with the team and its supporters. The Leafs management, led by general manager Brad Treliving, faces a pivotal moment. Treliving's reputation as a negotiator and team builder will be on full display as he navigates this high-stakes scenario. Striking the right balance could solidify his tenure in Toronto, while a misstep might set the team back for years. For Maple Leafs fans, the coming months will be filled with anticipation and uncertainty. Marner's future, along with the team's ability to stay competitive under financial constraints, will likely dominate conversations as the season unfolds. Supporters can only hope that the team's new approach leads to greater playoff success and, ultimately, the elusive championship. In the end, the outcome of these negotiations could redefine the Maple Leafs' identity for years to come. Whether it results in retaining Marner or reshaping the roster, the team's commitment to an internal salary cap signals a clear focus on long-term sustainability. Fans will be watching closely, hoping for a resolution that keeps the team's core intact and their championship dreams alive. As the negotiations with Mitch Marner progress, another layer of complexity is added by the external competition in the NHL market. Teams with more cap space and fewer restrictions could easily present lucrative offers to Marner if he reaches free agency. The Leafs are not only negotiating with Marner but also indirectly competing with other franchises willing to outbid them for his services. One example of this is Mikko Rantanen, whose potential $14 million value on the open market highlights the growing demand for elite wingers. If Rantanen secures such a deal, it could set a precedent that Marner's camp would use as leverage. The Leafs, however, must remain disciplined, as breaking their internal salary cap for Marner could lead to similar demands from other key players down the line. The looming specter of free agency means the Leafs have a limited window to strike a deal. If negotiations drag on into the off-season, the leverage shifts heavily in favor of Marner and his agent. Darren Ferris, known for his strategic patience, could use this to push for maximum value, putting even greater pressure on the Leafs management to make a decision. This scenario also places significant pressure on head coach Sheldon Keefe. Managing a team amid ongoing contract uncertainty can disrupt chemistry and focus. Keefe will need to ensure that the team remains united and focused on their performance, even as the media and fans speculate about Marner's future. Meanwhile, the Leafs core group, including Auston Matthews, Morgan Rielly, and John Tavares, will likely play a role in influencing Marner's decision. The camaraderie among the players and their collective drive for a championship could persuade Marner to accept a deal that aligns with the team's financial structure. On the flip side, the Leafs could explore contingency plans if a deal with Marner doesn't materialize. Trading Marner would be a bold move, but it could bring significant assets in return, potentially bolstering the team in areas like defense or secondary scoring. This option, while unpopular with fans, might be necessary to maintain roster balance. The timing of these decisions is also critical. With the trade deadline months away, the Leafs must assess whether keeping Marner without an extension risks losing him for nothing in free agency. A preemptive trade could avoid this scenario, but it would also signal a significant shift in the team's short-term goals. Fan sentiment will undoubtedly influence the team's approach. Marner is not just an exceptional player, he's a fan favorite and a symbol of homegrown talent succeeding in Toronto. Losing him could lead to backlash, especially if the team struggles in the aftermath of his departure. The broader NHL landscape also plays a role. As other teams navigate their own salary cap challenges, the Leafs can learn from their successes and failures. Organizations like the Tampa Bay Lightning and Vegas Golden Knights have shown the value of balancing star power with depth, offering a potential blueprint for Toronto's future.